Welcome to The Switch, podcasts that are wired to online and offline marketing.
Alrighty, welcome back. Welcome back to The Switch. We are wired for online and offline marketing, and yet another controversial topic in the education slot.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go. And colors. So it's every business goes through choosing their brand, okay, and creating their website, and they have to go through they should go through an exercise of selecting their brand based on their industry, the emotions of their audience, what it's trying to evoke, their product, their service, and lots of other different aspects that contribute to really putting their brand out there, making it memorable, making it unique. Try not to copy everyone else. I was speaking to someone the other day, and he went, I copied. I went to AT&T and looked at their logo and thought, that's all right, I'm going to copy them. It's like probably not the best sort of branding that you want to do, because it's not in your industry. And so this is something that's going to last years. So spending the time, spending the effort in researching your colors is absolutely critical.
Understanding your market and how your market perceive your business and your brand. The colour is a reflection of that. It's a very important part of that.
And from a branding perspective, from a website perspective, there are so many different things that we draw from the colours of a brand.
Yes.
In order to evoke some sort of emotion, evoke some sort of engagement on the website.
Yeah. I've seen a noticeable trend in very earthy, pastel-y colours coming through the marketplace at the moment. And although I think that some of them work well, I think the problem is that they've been chosen because it's trendy. And trend is not a reflection of what your target market is.
Yeah.
And sometimes a trendy colour is actually not appropriate for your business. And so colours should be chosen based on being appropriate to your business and your clients, your target market, and also the emotion that is connected with that and how that fits in with your brand and your brand story.
Yeah.
So, I think people should be looking a little bit more carefully into that, and make sure that whoever's doing their work and working on their brand and identity and working on their colour palettes, that is forefront as part of the process. That the colour is not just being chosen because it's trendy, or a colour doesn't necessarily should be chosen based on you like that colour, because you're not buying from you, it's somebody else. And if you're doing the right thing for the growth of your business, the growth of your brand, and the recognition, and that it's speaking to your target market, that it needs to be looked at more carefully.
Absolutely.
And that the right emotions are being connected to your target market from the colour scheme that you're choosing, and that is appropriate for your business. It's quite often overlooked, but it is very important.
Oh, it's absolutely critical. I mean, they can evolve as well.
Of course. And it can change. It could be different 2 years from now. Because everybody's business changes. Bev, we've just talked to Bev about this and how her business has changed dramatically. And so a colour palette, a colour scheme, whether it's on the web experience, whether it's on a printed document, has to be reflective of your business then and there and your target market.
I was very interested to see that your colour palette for Travel and Cruise Fundamentals was based on specialities. And the way Burning Fruit's logo, the green, yellow, and red, that was based on the different things that Burning Fruit do. The red obviously represents a strawberry in the fruit world, but the user experience, the yellow being the design element, and the green being the representative of Go, with the representative development. And we've got different colors representing different services, but really the green, yellow, and red are our core colors. And they just really represents what we do. We talked about why we named Burning Fruit, but the colors were representative of the services. What about your colors, Wayne?
What I found was that my business started many years ago, and it's been through a few identities over time. But my motif or my icon is black.
Yep.
It's black on white, and I wanted to be very plain and something that could be contrasting too. So I didn't want to take the importance, or my identity, I didn't want it to take importance over my clients. And so the idea was just to step back away and put my clients forward. And that's why I chose a very simple colour palette. Yellow is being used as one of the, it's not the primary colour, as a secondary colour. But yellow stands for excitement, exuberance, all those things that push a business, but the feeling behind a business, but also what results with using the business and its services. It's a great contrasting colour, and one of the other reasons that it's back in our colour palette, because we were using orange for a while.
Yeah, you were, weren't you?
That was my very original colour scheme when I went out on my own.
The yellow was
straight out of advertising.
Really?
Yeah, and because the business is 30 years this year, I thought it was a great time to go back to my roots.
I must admit, I do like the yellow, and it shows on you. The excitement shows on your new website.
Absolutely,
notionsdesign.com.au.
That's right. Designed and produced by Burning Fruit.
But very, very stunning and engaging color scheme.
Yeah, love it. Loved working with you guys, and you got the brief and you hit it on the head, and it's very exciting for me. It's just another stage of development in my business and where we're going, and it was really cool to work with Burning Fruit and the whole team. Such a great bunch of people.
It was interesting that you harped back to your roots.
Yeah,
to develop something.
That's right. Yeah,
future looking.
Absolutely.
That was
absolutely
very, very, very cool.
Yeah.
From a website perspective, Bev, what's the most popular color on the web? This is not part of the quiz. Just what do you think? What do you reckon?
If I flick through the web, what colors would I think were there the most?
Pick one color that you think is probably the most popular color on the web.
Probably blue.
Yeah, you are.
Well done.
Right.
Bang.
Absolutely right.
Winner.
Bang. Winner, chicken dinner.
Yeah.
Least popular color on the web. So any new business out there who's thinking of branding, listen to this very carefully.
Yeah.
What would you not like to see?
I don't know. Maybe pink.
Oh, well, that's interesting. Brown.
I was going to say brown.
Brown is the least favorite color on the web. However, when we've done our user experience studies on audiences in the mining industry, brown is expected. Mm-hmm. So
it's relatable.
Yeah. So the majority versus the minority. From a web perspective, calls to action, we always encourage the calls to action to be contrasting to the branding, so they pop. Yep. It's not always the case, but it's that the use of color is absolutely critical when it comes to getting people started on their journey and making sure there's consistency through their web experience. So calls to action, very, very important.
Contrast
to be
is
contrasting. Absolutely. Yeah. Like I said before, logos influence the color scheme on a website. There's a lot of websites that I've seen that break just basic web design principles where you have a light and dark to chunk the content, to make sure that the content is context specific, and to give the eye a rest.
Yes.
You just got to abide by the basics. And I even saw one a couple of days ago, a new website just completely obliterating the basics of web design. And we talk about the platforms where you create your own websites, and that's what happens.
Exactly.
You don't know what you're doing.
Interesting. You said that the most prolific color at the moment is blue, and the most popular color between male and females is blue.
It is blue.
Yep.
That's right.
And we're not talking the darker blue, but the lighter, brighter blue. The sky blue is very, very popular. Both sexes. Contrary to what some people think, that you need to put pink on a page to represent females and blue
No,
to
not
represent
at all.
boys. It's not the case at all.
I did a user experience on 4 travel websites back in 2017, 2018. And we had a number of different websites for the travel industry. And the one which came top was obviously the blue one.
Yep.
The one which came last was the black one.
Yep.
Because they thought the pictures would pop, but actually the blue was so warming, welcoming, friendly.
Yep.
Yeah, very, very
And
interesting.
it's trustworthy. It promotes trust.
Absolutely.
And when people are doing business, guess what's one of the most core values?
Trust. Absolutely.
That's what we're talking about.
Before we just have a look at a few brands, colours, the absence of colour. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, no, I think, again, I say this a lot, if it's appropriate. I mean, it depends on what the focus is on a page, whether that's online or offline marketing, and it's how it's used. So the absence of colour can be just as effective as a lot of colour, depending on what's being communicated on that page. So if used correctly, they are both very, very powerful tools.
Yeah, absolutely. Absence of colour on websites are, Apple are.
There you go.
They're the standouts, really. They very minimalist. They know how to focus the eye, and unlike Facebook, and their minimalist use of colours really makes them stand out.
And look at their packaging. I mean, they were the ones that single-handedly lifted tech packaging all those years ago to a place that it's never been before. And
Isn't the environment suffering now, though?
Yes. Well, yeah.
Because everyone's followed suit,
Yeah.
and now you get like packages for this this size of product.
But they really did. They really
They
did
did.
push the envelope, and they changed.
Special.
Yeah, and they changed the landscape. So when you got your new iPhone or your iPad, you just got this thing, and you went,
Beautiful.
Wow,
Yeah, I can't
so
wait.
good. It feels so good.
Wow.
That's
why
right.
I keep buying iPhone.
Who cares about the environment if I've got this?
Jeez, you're a party pooper.
Sorry.
Who knows? They may be the brand that moved to the next direction.
Yeah,
Ah.
absolutely.
You can say.
So, check this out. The Color Emotion Guide. So, blue. Look at that. Blue for trust. Purple for creative. Red for excitement. Let's look at the brands that are... You got Dell in the blue section. American Express. Oreo.
Absolutely.
Facebook. Trust. Interesting. Vimeo. Pfizer. So a lot of really, really cool brands out. WordPress. Recognize that one.
Yeah.
Really interesting. Any brands stand out for you there, Bev?
Well, orange is my colour.
Oh, it is, yeah.
So Fanta, absolutely love Fanta.
Yep.
Don't like the drink, I have to say, but I do like the colour.
Harley Davidson.
Confidence,
Look at
friendly. It suits you. I love the way that UPS has used yellow, and you see optimism.
Will I not?
It's on its way. We'll just be optimistic about that one.
Oh,
No,
man.
it's so funny. There's so many backstories you could come up with for a lot of this stuff. But in general, you could see how they've been used and how they are appropriate for their particular industry in general.
I don't know that BP and green promote peaceful or health.
I was looking at exactly that. It's like,
No, but BP really needed to change it up. But they've been using green and yellow for a long time.
But look at that top one on the green one. Springbok, what can I say?
Yes.
Um,
So is that John Deere, or is that I'm from where I'm looking, is that John Deere, or is it something else? I'm not sure.
which
I can't
one?
see it. It's
The
not
green,
very
the green
clear.
one.
Yeah,
It's a Springbok.
it is a Springbok. Okay.
Yeah. So
I looked at it from here and I just thought John Deere.
I
I
think Bev's thinking about the rugby team.
Yeah,
Are you?
she definitely
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
It
Are
definitely
they
is.
number one at the moment? Are they top of the
Not quite sure who's
sure.
top of the league. At
England are definitely not.
Mm.
I'm hoping Australia are up there.
Uh,
Balance, we got Puma, we got Nike, we got the Telegraph, so some Wikipedia, interesting, and Apple. Some really, really interesting ones. And then the multicolored ones at the top there, we got Microsoft. I suppose we could include both our businesses, Bev, Burning Fruit,
Absolutely.
Travel and Cruise Fundamentals, eBay, everyone recognizes that, Google, pretty eponymous,
Windows.
and Windows. So really, really interesting choices. I mean, the red one is actually packed full of brands that
Yeah.
are every day, aren't they?
And so people shouldn't be looking at something like this and saying, well, I want to be a Target, I want to be this. So they should always be looking at the emotive experience behind their business and their brand and their customers and who they're trying to attract.
That's right.
Yep.
From a web perspective, just a bit of advice if you're starting out on your website, there are a number of web palettes out there, killer palettes that you should really consider. If you have got a logo, look up some palettes. There's plenty of them out there. There's designers who are creating new palettes all the time, and pick one that is appropriate and
having flexibility.
have flexibility.
Primary colours, secondary colours, having a colour palette that's going to work across multiple formats.
Yep.
And not just giving someone one single colour, unless that is, the brand identity and there's sound reasoning behind that. Having some flexibility in your colours, just like we talked the previous podcast with fonts.
Yeah.
And choosing a font family that has lots of flexibility and contrast
That's
between
right.
weights. It's the same with colour.
Yeah.
Good
Well done,
stuff.
guys. Hope you guys have learned a bit about colour today. Very fascinating topic. A topic that I'm sure we will revisit in the future.
Absolutely.
Well done, guys.
Good stuff.